So hello everybody, welcome to Nayok's English Lab. So in today's lesson, we will discuss about sentence and its types. In my previous video, I have discussed sentence and its types according to its function. But in today's lesson, we will discuss sentence and its types according to its structure. So let's learn sentence and its types according to its structure. Sentence and its types. Before going to know the sentence and its types, let's know what is sentence. A sentence is a group of words giving a complete thought. If it is not giving any complete thought, then it is not a sentence. Okay, and you will find a subject and a verb. Verb is must compulsory, must important. Okay, just for an example, this is a sentence. Here, this is the subject and this is the verb, and it is a sentence. And everybody knows that sentence has two parts. One is subject part and another one is predicate part. Okay, Ram is eating rice. Ram is eating rice. Okay, so here it is a sentence because it is giving complete idea. But eating is rice, Ram. It is not giving any complete idea, not giving any sense. So it is not a sentence. Okay. The book is on the chair. It is also a sentence because it is giving complete idea, complete thought. The sun rises in the morning. It is also giving complete thought. Okay. So let's proceed and know the kinds of sentences according to structure. According to structure, sentences are of four kinds. First one is simple sentence. Second one is complex sentence. Third one is compound sentence. And fourth one is compound complex sentence or complex compound sentence. These are the four types of sentences according to its structure. So let's discuss one by one in detail. First one is simple sentence. What is simple sentence? A simple sentence is a sentence that consists of just one independent clause. That means you'll find a subject and a verb. These are must, necessary or compulsory in the sentence. And sometimes you will find an object and a modifier. And let's know these things with some examples. She wrote. Here, she is the subject and wrote is the verb. There is no object or modifier. Okay, so it is a sentence and it is giving complete idea and it is independent clause. She completed her literature review. Here, she is the subject and completed is the verb. Okay, and rest part is known as object. Okay, rest part is known as object. He organized his sources by theme. Here, he is the subject, organize is the verb, and the rest part is object. Okay. Here, they studied APA rules for many hours. They is the subject, studied is verb, and the rest part is object and modifier. So here we find what are the two compulsory component. One is subject and another one is verb, and all the sentences are conveying a single idea. giving complete meaning. Okay, so these are called simple sentences. In simple sentences, you will find a subject and a verb, and it gives complete thought or complete idea, complete meaning. It is called simple sentence. Let's know complex sentence. A complex sentence has an independent clause and at least one dependent clause. Means you will find an independent clause and at least one dependent clause. You will find more dependent clause. Okay, so let's find with examples. Although she completed her literature review, she still needed to work on her method section. Okay, she still needed to work on her method section. Okay, so the second part is independent clause, but the first one is dependent. Okay, here note the comma in his sentence because it begins with a dependent clause. Yes or not? It is the dependent clause and it is independent clause. Okay, so how do you know it is dependent clause? Because here although it is a subordinating conjunction. Okay, if you will find any subordinating conjunction, it has been used in the sentence, then it is complex sentence. Okay, so here dependent clause begins with subordinating conjunctions like after, although, as, because, before, even though, if, since, though, unless, until, when, whenever, whereas, wherever, while. It's not. So here the first sentence has been used with although a subordinating conjunction. Okay, let's come to second examples. Because he organized his source by theme, it was easier for his readers to follow. So here, okay, it has been started with because. It's not because a subordinating conjunction. So first one is dependent clause and second one is independent clause. Okay, the next example. They studied grammar rules for many hours as they were so interesting. Okay, as they were so interesting, it is the dependent clause. It is depending upon this clause. Okay, so and also it has been started with a subordinating conjunction like as. So it is the independent clause and it is the dependent clause. What is the rule? A complex sentence has an independent clause and at least one dependent clause. So it is called complex sentence. Okay, let's know compound sentence. A compound sentence. So in compound sentence, okay, you'll find at least two independent clause. These two independent clause can be combined with a comma or coordinating conjunction or with a semicolon. Okay, so what are the coordinating conjunction you will find there? The coordinating conjunction like for, and, nor, but, or, yet, so. So in short, it is called fanboys. Okay, fanboys. Let's know with the examples. So Rohit waited for the train, but the train was late. you will find two things here. Okay, and both are independent clause. Rohit waited for the train, it is also independent clause. The train was late, it is also independent clause. But two independent clause have been joined with a coordinating conjunction like but, and before that you will find a comma, so it is compound sentence. Okay, next example. She completed her literature review and she created her reference list. She created her reference list, it is also an independent clause. And she completed her literature review, it is also an independent clause, and it is joined with a coordinating conjunction like and. Yes or not? And before that is a comma. So next example, he organized his sources by theme. Then that is a coordinating conjunction, and before, okay, a semicolon. You will find a semicolon and a colon, okay, which joined two sentences, two, what you can say, independent clause. It is also independent clause, and this one is also independent clause, so it is compound sentence. They studied grammar rules for many hours, it is an independent clause. Okay, they realized there was still much to learn, it is also independent clause, and it is joined by the coordinating conjunction like but, and before that is a comma. So how do you know? If you find a comma or a conjunction and also the use of coordinating conjunction, then it is compound sentence. Okay, let's know the last one, a compound complex sentence. A compound complex sentence has at least two independent clause and at least one dependent clause. Two independent clause and one dependent clause. Okay, for example, when my boss yelled at me, I got angry, so I quit. So first one is dependent clause. Okay, first one is dependent clause because it is started with a subordinator. It's not subordinator when. And next, it is independent. I got angry. It is alone giving complete meaning. I quit. It is also giving complete meaning. And here, it is a, yes or not, coordinating conjunction. So here two independent clause, sorry, and one dependent clause. So it is compound complex sentence. Another example. Okay, my boss yelled at me, so I quit because I was hot. So it is also a sentence, compound complex sentence, because there are two independent clause. This one is independent, this one is also independent. Okay, but this one is dependent. Yes. Okay, next example. I got angry when my boss yelled at me, so I quit. Yet I should have remained calm. It is a compound complex sentence because there is one independent, sorry, okay, first one is independent clause and second one is dependent clause and third one is independent clause and fourth one is also independent clause. What is at least one dependent clause and more than, you can find more than one independent clause, that is called compound complex sentence. Okay, once again, a compound complex sentence has at least two independent, at least two. Okay, at best you can get more than two independent clause and at least one dependent clause. You will find at least one dependent clause and more than two independent clause, then that is called compound complex sentence. I hope everybody understand.